Yo, ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans across the land, welcome to Bet the House. And we are here for another week of boxing, ladies and gentlemen. We have a wonderful slate ahead of us later on today. We got a big card on Top Rank, and we have another card on the Zone. Today we'll be covering about five fights between Top Rank and the Zone cards, and we'll give you our best bets as we always do here at Bet the House. I will be rocking solo dolo this week as our normal anchor Jay Pylon had some previous uh obligations that he had to take care of. Hopefully, he'll be here with us next week, but we'll go ahead and give it to you how we do it here at Rounds Boxing Club. Quick update on last week. We were absolutely correct about the Robesi Ramirez fight. We picked Robesi Ramirez to get the knockout over Brandon Benitez in between rounds 5 and 8. And Robesi Ramirez did just that with a beautiful uppercut to stop the night in round number 7. Now, as far as our bets that we put in before last Saturday night, all of them jokers crashed. Look, we wanted Teofimo Lopez to get the knockout on the parlay, and those crashed. Teofimo Lopez won by decision. And we had a few other cards with Ramla Ali to get the upset, which I thought Ramla Ali did enough to get the nod, but the judges gave it to Mercado on the scorecards. But we were also able to steal cash by going live. Bam Rodriguez was the last fight of the night, and what we did was we went and placed a live bet on Bam Rodriguez to stop Juan Francisco Estrada in between rounds 7 and 12, and Bam Rodriguez did just that, and we were still able to finish in the profit last weekend. So hopefully we are able to do that again. We will start we will start this morning's show off with the Top Rank card and the main event between Shakur Stevenson and Artem Harutyunyan. So, right now, on the money line, Shakur Stevenson, you have to lay $2,500 just to win $100. If you're going to go money line with Shakur Stevenson, I imagine that you're putting a nice parlay together, because those are some hefty odds for Shakur Stevenson on the money line. And Artem Harutyunyan is at a plus 1420 on the money line. The over-under for this fight is set at 10.5. Now, actually, personally, I don't like the over in this fight. I think Shakur Stevenson will get the job done under 10.5 rounds. So I do think that is a safe bet. I think if you take Shakur Stevenson on the under, also, like I said, Shakur Stevenson on the money line is a negative 2,500. That's a little bit steep. You do better by picking Shakur Stevenson maybe by decision or by knockout, or if you want to say a late knockout. If you pick a late knockout in between rounds 7 and 12, Shakur Stevenson will be a plus 140. Shakur Stevenson's scorecards is going to be a plus 135. And Shakur Stevenson just by knockout in any round is a negative 150. Those are better odds. Me personally, the best bet on this fight that I really like, and I have already placed, first thing later on when I get off this live stream, I'm going to post my bets up in the community section so you guys can see them. But my favorite bet for the Shakur Stevenson versus Artem Harutyunyan fight is if you bet that Shakur Stevenson will knock down Artem Harutyunyan at least one time. Right now, those odds are at a negative 164. Those are beautiful odds. I believe that Shakur Stevenson, if he doesn't get the knockout, he will at least put Artem Harutyunyan down at least once at that negative 164. Hey, if you drop a little money on there, that's almost even money. You should do pretty well. So safe to say that I like Shakur Stevenson. Actually, I like him to get the job done and stop the night. Really in between rounds 7 and 9. I predicted 7 and 12, but I like Shakur Stevenson by knockout. And that's how I really see this fight going. I think Artem Harutyunyan is really tailor made for Shakur Stevenson. He's a come forward fighter. Uh, he throws a good bit of punches, and with Shakur Stevenson being a counter puncher, I expect Shakur Stevenson to get the job done in an impressive fashion, being that he really needs to get it done in impressive fashion. We saw his last fight against De Los Santos. Shakur Stevenson is fighting his last fight under contract with Top Rank. So he really needs to look impressive if he wants to get paid the money that he says that his mouth is worth. Next fight on the scorecards is going to be Shakur Foster versus Robson Conceição. This is probably going to be the fight of the night. You know, I got to go ahead and say that I believe that this is the real main event out of all the cards between Top Rank and the Zone. Now, the Zone has another fight with Manny Flores. I forget who he's fighting, but that's going to be a wonderful fight as well. Gucci Manny Flores. I'm shooting for him. I got him on one of my tickets. But back to Shakur Foster versus Robson Conceição. This fight is in the 130-pound division, and it's really a 50-50 fight. This fight could go either way. It could be a draw. It could be a decision either way, and I really can't see Conceição knocking out Shakur Foster, but I can see maybe Shakur Foster stopping Conceição. Right now, on the money line, Shakur Foster, you got to lay $225 on the money line to get $100. And for Robson Conceição, he is a plus 178 on the money line. Robson Conceição, this is going to be his third title fight. The first one against Shakur Stevenson did not go well at all. The second fight against Emmanuel Navarrete, I thought Robson Conceição deserved a nod in that fight. But the judges scored that fight a draw. It is what it is. Robson Conceição still has not won a belt. But I believe this fight will make the third time a charm. And I believe that Robson Conceição will upset Shakur Foster this weekend. So I actually like Robson Conceição by decision, and that line is sitting at a plus 290. So if you guys want to rock with that one, I know it's kind of hard to maybe see it if you guys don't see it, being that Conceição is the underdog, but hey, it's 2024, and as a boxing fan, we know this has been the year of the underdog. So I will go with Conceição upsetting Shakur Foster tomorrow night by decision at the plus 290. Our next fight that we are going to go over is going to be Keyshawn Davis versus Miguel Madueno. 10 rounds in the lightweight division. This fight will be a good test for Keyshawn Davis. Miguel Madueno is a very testy veteran. He hasn't had a lot of fights in the States. So his quality of competition isn't as good as it should be, being that he has fought 33 professional fights. But in those 33 professional fights, he has 31 wins, and 28 of those wins have came by knockout. So Miguel Madueno, you know, he has a little something with him. Now, Keyshawn Davis has only had 10 fights. But, you know, Keyshawn Davis is looking better and better each time he steps out. And he's stepping up in competition in this one as far as the record says, on paper he's stepping up in competition. We will see how Madueno shows up. Right now, on the money line, Keyshawn Davis is a negative 3,500, while Madueno is going to be a wow. His lines are really changing. Listen, Keyshawn Davis, this fight is really hard to call. I like Keyshawn by knockout, actually. And the knockout props are at a negative 185 for Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn by decision is a plus 160. I like Keyshawn to get the knockout late in this fight. It could go to decision, but I don't think Madueno has faced the quality of competition needed maybe to get through the 10 rounds. We will see. But I like Keyshawn by knockout, negative 185 in this contest. And the fourth fight that we're going to cover on the top rank card is going to be Abdullah Mason versus Luis LeBron. Now, this is a very interesting fight. I am a big fan of Abdullah Mason. He is very sharp. This fight is going to be in the lightweight division. Abdullah Mason is 13-0. Louis LeBron is 20-5, and he does have one draw. But I like Abdullah Mason to get the knockout. But the only questionable thing in this contest is that Louis LeBron has never been knocked out. So what makes me feel that Abdullah Mason will get the knockout is that I feel like he's being challenged. And I think he wants to be the first person to get the knockout over Louis LeBron. And I believe that Mason will be sharp enough to do so in this fight. Right now on the money line, Abdullah Mason, he is a negative, I believe, 1,800. I'd have to go back and look. I think he's a negative 1,800. I know Louis LeBron is a plus 1,600 on the money line. Louis LeBron, he's game, but I don't see him standing a chance against Abdullah Mason. And even if Abdullah Mason doesn't just hit him with a shot that stops the night, I believe that Abdullah Mason should be able to hit him with enough punches throughout the fight to where his corner throws in a towel or the referee steps in and stops the night. I like Abdullah Mason by knockout at the negative 185. It's a negative 185. I'd put that on a parlay. It's a lot of good parlays that can be made and have been made. And like I say, after this live stream, if you wake up in the morning and you're watching this, go to my community tab. I believe I got for sure bets. And if you want to know which ones to follow, make sure you look at what I'm putting the juice behind. What I mean is what I have the most money, what I'm backing with the most money. Of course, that means that's what I'm more confident in. So yeah, I like Abdullah Mason by knockout. So far, I think I like everybody by knockout except the upset that I'm picking with Robson Conceição over O'Shaquie Foster. Now, the last fight that we will be covering is over on the Zone. We got William Zepeda versus Giovanni Cabrera. Right now we got William Zepeda sitting at, you got a late $1,450 just to get $100. That's a lot on the money line. Giovanni Cabrera is a plus 890 on the money line. Now we know William Zepeda is 30-0 with 26 knockouts, while Giovanni Cabrera is 22-1, but he only has 7 knockouts. The thing about Giovanni Cabrera is he's a awkward fighter, not just awkward in how he throws his punches, but his movements, his defense. He's very defensively sound. We saw him against Isaac Cruz. I don't believe that was the best Isaac Cruz, but Giovanni Cabrera looked pretty good in that fight. Will he look the same way against William Zepeda? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think this is one of William Zepeda's best tests. Should be a good fight. I personally like William Zepeda to get the knockout. I mean, he has an 87% knockout ratio. I kind of be foolish not to roll with the knockout in this one, but I like Zepeda to get the knockout. Um, he's one of the top contenders in the 135-pound division. And I believe that with Shakur Stevenson fighting on the same night, it would behoove William Zepeda to have an impressive performance, because just the simple fact he's fighting with Shakur is kind of going to overshadow whatever he does in the ring anyway, unless he loses. So I like William Zepeda to get the knockout in between round 7 and 12 as well. Right now, that's paying out a plus 145. William Zepeda by decision is a plus 260. So, and William Zepeda just by knockout is a negative 230. So Vegas does think that Zepeda will get the knockout. But listen, if you're feeling that Giovanni Cabrera will get the upset in this one, a plus 890, those are great odds for Cabrera. I mean, he's definitely live game in this fight. He's a good boxer. What you see is what you get with William Zepeda. So if Cabrera can make adjustments, he can possibly win this fight. I just feel like the volume that William Zepeda brings will be too much for Giovanni Cabrera to withstand throughout the entire night. And that's what I like. So recap everything. Our upset pick of the week is going to be Robson Conceição defeating O'Shaquie Foster. And that's the only fight I see going to the decision that we covered. So you know how we like to do it at the house. We like to give you a for sure parlay to leave with. So I'm going to give you guys a parlay that I believe should definitely hit. And I got it in myself. So it's going to be we're just going to do a 2-leg this week. The bet the house. If you want to make some money tonight, this is what you bet the house on. We're going to bet the house that Abdullah Mason knocks out Luis LeBron. And we're going to couple that with Shakur Stevenson knocking down Artem Harutyunyan at least one time. And that should get you a pretty good plus. I'm not sure. If you give me a quick second, I'll let you know exactly what that plus will be on that parlay, being that I do have that bet in. So let me tell you guys what that plus will be. All right. We're going to go. That'll be a plus 147. So those are plus odds. You take Abdullah Mason for the knockout over Luis LeBron, that's a negative 185. And if you take Artem Harutyunyan to be knocked down at least once by Shakur Stevenson, that's a negative 164, which will give you a plus 147. I put $300 on that plus 147 to get a payout of $743.97. I'm betting the house on this one. You guys should do the same if you feel that this is a good bet. Look, you guys, you know how we get down here. Make sure you all are betting responsibly. That is our show for the week. I am your host, Coach Ross. I appreciate you guys joining us. We will see how these bets play out. We will be going live for the co-main event and the main event on the Top Rank card featuring Shakur Stevenson tomorrow night. Be sure to tap in with us. We'll see how these bets go. Hopefully we all are getting to the bag. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, subscribe, protect yourself at all times. We out. Peace.